And good evening, everyone. I'm Joe Gason.
And I'm Leslie Adamy. Thank you for being with us this Tuesday night. Now, a lot happened today, but we begin with reaction to Texas Governor Greg Abbott's announcement that as of next Wednesday, all businesses will be able to reopen to 100% capacity. He's also ordering an end to the statewide mask mandate.
Tonight, Nueces County Judge Barbara Canales says the county will comply with that new executive order. Our Bill Churchwell has the update on this top story at 10.
It is now time to open Texas 100%.
Governor Greg Abbott making the announcement on this Texas Independence Day, where he also said he will be rescinding the statewide mask mandate. Abbott saying with the various medical advancements in place, including the vaccines, Texas now has the tools to protect its citizens against COVID. Nueces County Judge Barbara Canales reacting to that decision as she discussed the measure online.
I was shocked, really. I knew that we were going to have some restrictions lifted. That was definitely, we felt that was coming, and I was expecting it to be for businesses. I did not expect it to be for masks.
Canales says in her capacity as county judge, she will be issuing orders that implement the governor's executive order when it goes into effect March 10th, adding that she does not have the power to counteract that decision. It is important to note, however, that businesses will still have the option of requiring masks.
I think that what I want to make sure that everybody understands coming from Nueces County today is that COVID has not gone away. It has not disappeared. It poses a threat to public health, and there are mitigation strategies to counter COVID-19.
As of this past Sunday, 6.5% of Texans have been fully vaccinated, but Abbott says that number will grow quickly now that 3 vaccines are available. However, health experts warn that the outbreak is far from over.
People realizing that if you want Texas to be 100% open, you 100% want to continue to wear your masks.
Meanwhile, Congressman Philemon Villa says he does not agree with the governor's decision, saying now is not the time.
The idea that you would open up businesses to 100%, knowing that people congregating is the #1 risk factor for the spread of this virus, just doesn't make sense.
The announcement makes Texas the largest state to do away with a face covering order. Canales says while we are seeing positive trends here in Nueces County with a decrease in hospitalizations and positivity numbers, she is still encouraging folks to keep taking their own safety measures.
The important thing to remember, and this is very important, is that this governor's order does not diminish. It cannot take away common sense. It cannot take away common courtesy, and it cannot take away smart science.
Again, the new order takes effect Wednesday, March 10th. Bill Churchwell, 3 News.